What is up, everyone, and welcome to today's reaction video. And today's reaction was the winner of our Patreon poll for Home Free, and it is a very special double reaction. Why? Because Hoist the Colors won the poll, and it's 1 minute and 40 seconds long. Home Free, my guys, my boys, my fellas, what are you doing? You know, every time you release a song, when you release a 5-minute song, we're like, this was great, but it could have gone for longer because we never want to stop hearing you. 2 minutes, 1 minute and 40 seconds. It's not long enough. I need more than that. So not only am I going to be checking out Hoist the Colors today, I am also going to be checking out their latest in their seafaring pirate shanty songs, their nautical themed songs, which is The Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, I believe it's called. We will get into that one and talk about that a little bit later before that part of the reaction. First, we are jumping into Hoist the Colors, because that is the one that technically won the poll, and their Wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald is going to be the bonus one, which I'll talk about later. So yeah, I'm super excited to check out both of these. We're going to get into Hoist the Colors first and get into this. All of their nautical themed songs have bit phenomenal, so I have no doubt this will be as well. As always, please check out the original videos linked in the description below. Go to the originals, watch them without all my pauses and interruptions. Give them a like, give them a comment, subscribe to Home Free because they are amazing, and we're going to get into this. This is Home Free's Hoist the Colors. Let's go. Okay.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones.
Adam freaking Bastine coming in just from the first moment, just like the first note of this song, reminding you what he can do. Holy heck, he sounds phenomenal singing this. I kind of want, I don't think they will, because they're on this whole push. They're about to tour with the Longest Johns. I think they'll be too busy, but I so want them to put out something for Halloween that's all creepy and spooky, because I feel like Bastine's voice, just hearing him then, it would be phenomenal. It would be incredible, because his voice carries that kind of high, beautiful, angelic, eerie wail to it that like can send a chill down your spine while still being beautiful. It's a full-on siren song, and I'm obsessed.
The king and his men stole the queen from her bed and bound her in her bones. The seas be ours and bind up down.
He has such an effortless way of putting that kind of little bit of a rock and roll type sound in there. Like, something about his high notes gives me 80s rock, and I'm so here for it. It sounds phenomenal.
All hands hoist the colors high. Heave ho, thieves and beggars, never shall we die.
Timothy. Tim. Oh my god. Where is it? Where? There. That man with his just bass notes, just going to slip that. Because I was ready. I was prepared for actually an Adam Chance bass note. Because we went from Bastine doing the high stuff, and then the camera, as he finished his section, it focused on Chance. It was sitting there on him. And if you know Pirates of the Caribbean specifically, you have the little kid who sings the first part, and then when he stops, one of the like fully grown adult sailors comes in with that yo ho moment. And I was like, it would work so well if they did all high and lovely, and then either Tim or Chance came in with a deep guttural bass yo ho moment. And so I was like, they're swerving us because you'd think it would be Tim, but they're going to do it with Chance. And then they all came in together and sounded stunning. But then you're just going to slip that bassy bit in the end there by Tim and give me all the wibbly wobblies. Phenomenal.
Never shall we die.
Okay. Damn. That's all we're gonna get of it. That was like a trailer. That was like an intro more than anything. Because like there's more to that song that they used throughout the rest of... I don't know if this... The people here who are big into shanties and big into like seafaring songs, you're going to be offended by this and I apologize. I don't know if this is like an old school shanty that the Pirates of the Caribbean used, or if this was written for the Pirates of the Caribbean and that's it, because that's all I know it from. But I do know that like at the start of the movie you have one section of the song, and then there are more verses of it or whatever that come later because Elizabeth Swann is singing one of them as she's rowing along. I don't know if, again, it's an older one that has more parts to it, but I'm shocked they only did like that one verse, one chorus, like real short section at the start there. Either way, phenomenal job with it. Incredible job with this one. I'm glad that I got a chance to check that out. But now we are going to jump into the second part of this reaction, which is the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, I believe it's called. Let's get it up on the screen. I'll be able to confirm the name. I'll be right back. Let's go. It is indeed the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald, and I have been given a bit of information about this song. I've been given a bit of information in terms of 50 years ago now, this was a real shipwreck. And in terms of famous shipwrecks, in terms of famous nautical tragedies, this one is kind of looked at, if I'm understanding correctly, as you kind of go, everyone knows about the Titanic. If you know about that, the next kind of biggest name is the Edmund Fitzgerald. And from my understanding, I've been given some information by one of my incredible admins, Karen, who let me know that a lot of times with this song, for various reasons, it's not always looked great upon when people do covers of it. If they don't show the song the proper respect, if they don't understand the song and do it right, it can be a little bit dicey to cover this one. I don't know the full details of that. There's a lot of information to go through with it. I don't want to show any disrespect to anyone in any way. So if it is something that is touchy for some people, I apologize, but I'm here for Home Free. I'm here for the music. I'm here to check this out, and I know that they are going to do an amazing job of it. I know they're doing this as a tribute, and that it's something that's kind of close to their heart that they wanted to pay respect to. So I know they're going to do an awesome job of it. So we're going to get into it. This is the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald. Let's go.
Lives on from...
Hold on a minute. This is not what I expected from this at all. We came in with Bastien doing those high notes, and I was like, oh yeah, there's going to be like a sad, slow one of like paying tribute to a paying memory or that. Not the direction it went in. It's like boom into the song and like incredible sounding right away. Bastien's vocals for me are just like liquid gold. Every time I hear the man, it's stunning. But yeah, I wasn't expecting that beat to come in out of nowhere.
The legend lives on from the Chippewa and down of the big lake they call Gitchigumi. The The lake, it is said, never gives up her dead when the skies of November turn gloomy.
Now, I will say, we have some, I was given some information about who's in this video as well, because we have Dan Rust, who is their road manager, Abe Sword, who is a friend of Tim's, and Daryl Merrier, who, and Daryl's father are in the video. I don't know, I can't quite remember who Daryl Merrier is. I believe Darren Rust, their road manager, I think we've seen him in things before. But yeah, so there's basically some friends and family in the video to like fill out the crew, which is a really cool thing.
With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty.
Damn. Wait a damn minute. Sorry to pause and then unpause. I should have taken it back. But what did that man just say?
Skies of November turn gloomy. With a load of iron ore, 26,000 tons more than the Edmund Fitzgerald weighed empty.
Okay, so they were transporting iron. 26,000 tons of iron. Damn. Yep, quite the cargo load. Is that how much? I imagine that's how much the ship's meant to carry, unless it's overweight.
That good ship and true was a bone to be chewed when the gales of November came early.
The ship was the pride of the American side, coming back from some mill in Wisconsin. As the big freighters go, it was bigger than most, with the crew and good captain well seasoned, concluding some terms with a couple of steel firms when they left fully loaded for Cleveland. Then later that night when the ship's bell rang, could it be the north wind they'd been feeling?
Okay, so we have plenty big cargo ship, seasoned crew, but they were hoping to beat the storm season back. They were hoping to beat the November winds and the November waves. And as they've started to head off, as their journey's in its early parts, suddenly they're hit by the north wind. Suddenly they're hit by the whole ship's shaking. November's come early, basically.
The north wind they'd been feeling. Tattletale sound and a wave broke over the railing, and every man knew, as the captain did too, 'twas the witch of November came stealing. The dawn it came late and the breakfast had to wait when the gales of November came slashing. When the afternoon came, it was freezing rain in the face of hurricane west wind.
Yo, they are all delivering stunning vocals through this one, but I can barely even focus on that because I'm so invested in this story. Like, the way this song is written, a huge props to the original songwriter, who I believe is Gordon Lightfoot. He was at least the original singer. But yeah, immediately, like, the story captures you and hooks you so well, which again, that's what will happen when something's based on kind of true events like that. But Home Free and like literally their friends are doing such a good job in this of like immersing you in the world, because even when you have these moments of them standing there singing, you have people running around in the background. We had Chance outside before singing, and behind him you can see someone like in a raincoat running upstairs frantically. You can feel the chaos of what's happening with the ship, even as they're just staying there singing. And it's so well done to kind of pull you into that world and remind you of what's going on.
In the face of hurricane west wind.
What the bloody heck was that? Yo, Adam Rupp. I was already going to say, like, the way this song's arranged with the whoo in the background every now and again is so good. But then I don't even know what you call what Adam Rupp just did with his mouth. It was like a synthesizer. It was like a keyboard. It was like, I don't even know what that is. I need to hear that again.
When supper time came, the old cook came on deck saying, fellas, it's too rough to feed ya.
Damn.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya.
Damn.
The captain wired in, he had...
Wait, hang on a second there. Like, it's too rough to feed you, I can understand. I imagine they, like, these days at least, I imagine they carry, like, canned food on boats for situations where it's like, yeah, we can't light up a stove right now. Things are too choppy out there, it's not happening. But how long are...
hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good.
So at 7 p.m. he said, fellas, it's been good to know you. What time did the cook come in?
Supper time came, the old cook came on.
All right, we don't know what time the cook came, but you have to think, if it's supper time, it can't be that long before. I don't know what time supper time technically is. Is supper dinner? Supper's dinner, right? You have to think that there's maybe like, what, 2-3 hours where things have degraded so quickly that we've gone from the cook being like, yeah, it's too choppy to cook food, sorry guys, to, guys, it's been nice to know you. This isn't going to end well for us. That's a fast decline.
At 7 p.m. a main hatchway caved in. He said, fellas, it's been good to know ya.
The captain wired in, he had water coming in, and the good ship and crew was in peril. Then later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
That was such a cool effect. Like, I don't want to take away from the story beat there, but all the lights going out, that was awesome. That was so well done. And like, I didn't know they would have, like, they're on a ship here, I assume. I don't know how they'd get this kind of backdrop if they weren't on an actual ship. So the fact they can have it be that, like, hey, can we just have it go like all dark all of a sudden? That's really, really cool. Unless it's that what we're seeing there is mostly just their lights, but I don't think it is. I think they've like gotten someone to turn off the ship light so it looks all eerie and creepy.
Then later that night, when his lights went out of sight, came the wreck of the Edmund Fitzgerald.
Does anyone know where the love of God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours?
The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her.
Damn. First of all, that line before goes so hard. Does anyone know where the love of God goes? Where, like, when you're in those, like, when you're in those moments of extreme crisis, I like, a person of faith would say that, you know, just because you can't see it, it's not there. Fair. But the way this line is written, does anyone know where the love of God goes?
God goes when the waves turn the minutes to hours.
When the waves turn the minutes to hours. Yeah. When you have those moments where you're like, everything, this is the end basically, and a second and a minute stretches on forever, and you're in complete panic, and having those moments of, why hasn't anyone saved us? Why hasn't anything saved us? That line just hits so hard and is so well written. But then we follow that up with the fact that the search parties basically said if they just left a little bit early, if they just gotten 15 extra miles, not that far by modern standards, I don't know what it was like back there, 15 extra miles, and they would have been home free and safe. Home free. They would have been safe. That's wild.
The searchers all say they'd have made Whitefish Bay if they'd put 15 more miles behind her. They might have split up or they might have capsized. They may have broke deep and took water.
And all that remains is the faces and the names of the wives and the sons and the daughters.
Wait. First of all, am I to be informed, what was the ship never found? because they don't know whether they took on water and sank, whether they broke into pieces. They don't know the details of it. Surely it was found. Surely that's not what that part means. But the line about that all that remains is the faces of the wives and the children and the sons and the daughters. That's heartbreaking.
Lake Huron rolls, Superior sings in the rooms of her ice water mansion. Old Michigan steams like a young man's dreams. The islands and bays are for sportsmen. And farther below, Lake Ontario takes in what Lake Erie can send her. And the iron boats go, as the mariners all know, with the gales of November remembered.
It is so, it needs to be commented on. It needs to be said about how, like, just the notes they're doing in the background there, just the harmonizing and the vocal notes they're doing in the background there, mixed with those hey and hoo notes, and then Adam Rupp comes in with that synthesizer sound again. That is so much. They are doing so much in the like it's easy to focus on whoever's up front singing the song, whoever's the main voice in the song singing it. Fair. Rob's done phenomenally in this one. Chance did incredibly in his section. Everyone has sounded amazing. Bastien's high notes are just insane. But what's going on in these little in-between moments of these, like, the vocal runs that they're doing is stunning.
In a musty old hall in Detroit, they parade in the Maritime Sailors Cathedral. Church bell chimes till it rang 29 times for each man on the Edmund Fitzgerald. The legend lives on from the Chippewa on down of the big lake they call Gitchagumi. Superior, they said, never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
I love that, like, well, not love, but it's so interesting that, like, this is used now as a cautionary tale. That it's like, you hear about those songs where it's like old shanties and they're singing about a particular ship name or this, or like they'll have a ship name in there, and it's like a lot of them are written just to be a song. Like, as much as I love it, the song that The Longest John's covered, I can't remember who the original artist was, but the Mary Ellen Carter, love that song. Made up ship, not a real ship. To my knowledge, at least. But with this one, this is a real ship. There's a real thing that happened with real workers who lost their lives. 29 people, and just because of sailing at the wrong time of the year, risking the wrong thing, taking the wrong chance. And I love that it's a real life story that's now used as like a cautionary tale. And that in terms of seafaring songs and nautical songs, this would be a pretty kind of like more recent story compared to what a lot of them would be. And I love that it's still being used in that way of like, hey, learn the cautionary tale from this song. Don't be the guy who you know what November winds are going to bring. You know the risk is there, but hey, we'll make it. We'll be fine because that's what they thought. Don't do that. Like, and again, nothing against the crew, nothing against the captain. The winds came early. The storm came early. They could have never foreseen it, but it's a fantastic cautionary tale in that way.
They said never gives up her dead when the gales of November come early.
Oh, wow. I love the absolute respect that was shown with this. That they told the story, they wanted to do the song, they wanted to pay tribute to this thing that happened. And the song tells the story so beautifully and works so well as a cautionary tale and works so well to remember and pay homage to the people who lost their lives. But Home Free have done it in such a beautiful way, especially at the end there, where they take the time to go, hey, this isn't just a, sad song about a tragedy that happened. Here's a cross for every person who died on that ship to remind you these are real people. This story isn't just a story. It was a real tragedy with real consequences that hurt real people. Real lives were lost. And yeah, the song says that, but having that moment at the end included there where song's over, song's done, but we're going to have that moment of adding in Chance playing the guitar so we can take a second to go across for every one of the victims, every life that was lost there on the beach. That was a beautiful way to end it. That was a really, really lovely way to end that song. And everything about this, from the vocals, from the way the video clip was done, and like, sure, there was a little bit of theatricality in there with certain things, like when the lights went out and things like that, but for the most part, the video clip felt very much like it was being used as a tool to remind us of the same thing as those crosses at the end. These are a real story, and even as we're standing here fine singing about it and making a catchy song about it, you can enjoy the song, but look what's happening behind us. There's still this frantic energy running around. There's the crew having their last cigarette because they know the ship's going down, and it's heartbreaking. It's really beautifully done, really heartbreaking, and really well put together. This was stunning. Yo, please jump in the link in the description and give the original video of this a like and a comment, and subscribe to Home Free if you haven't already. Also, leave me a like and a comment and subscribe to this channel. It helps out the channel so much, I can't even begin to tell you. And if you're able to, check me out over on Patreon. Over there, I do weekly polls for the reactions I do here on the channel. I also do weekly TV show reactions, a monthly movie reaction, a monthly live stream, and at the highest tier, you can get a guaranteed reaction right here on the channel. So check all that out over on my Patreon. I'll say once again, I hope I didn't misinterpret any of the facts. I didn't get anything wrong. I hope I haven't offended anyone in this reaction by getting any of the information wrong. If I have, please let me know, and please know that I apologize for that. I come into all my reactions as blind reactions, so I don't know. I haven't had time to sit down and study the full details of the Edmund Fitzgerald. If you want to let me know details of it in the comments, I'd love to know them, because it's such a heartbreaking but interesting story. So yeah, feel free to let me know any information you want to in the comments. I will see you all in the next reaction video. Have yourself a fantastic day, night, morning, evening, afternoon, whatever time zone you're in, and I'll see you next time. Bye.